Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Board of Public Works and Safety for the City of Scottsburg, Indiana. Today is July the 8th, 1999, right? This is 2026 in the year of our Lord. We come here today to go forward with callings of our city, and we're calling it to order. And we start by our roll call by Clerk Treasurer Jan Hardy.
Mayor Amy.
Here.
Karen Gracious. Here. Tom Lewis.
Here. Thank you, Ms. Hardy. Next is our approval of the minutes from our June 24th, 2026 meeting.
I make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
And Richard makes a motion to approve. Tom Lewis seconds. Are there any questions here? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. Okay. Now then, we'll go into new business. The first thing we have is resolution number 2026-6, a resolution amending the city of Scottsburg, Indiana, overtime compensation, compensatory time policy, brought to you by Rita.
Okay. I asked our payroll clerk
Yes,
too.
for sure, thank you.
We are asking that you approve an amendment to our handbook regarding the overtime section that's in our handbook. It currently allows for any comp time to be included in the overtime calculation. And technically by Fair Labor Standards Act, this is double dipping. So once an employee agrees to having their overtime moved over into a comp time status, it's increased by 1.5 times and added into like a bank that they can use later for time off rather than taking overtime. We've recently had some situations where we have had people that are already working overtime and also trying to take their comp time at the same time, which increases their amount of overtime that they would be allowed to get. And then they are then trying to comp it again. So you're earning comp time on comp time, which is a double dipping situation. We've not had this before, but since it has come up, we ask that we would be able to remove comp time as a means of calculating their overtime so that we don't have a double dipping situation in the future.
What questions do you have?
I'm not sure I.
No.
I don't even know what to ask.
Come 2 weeks from last Monday and she'll walk you through all of it.
So and I'll try to give a recap. So if someone has on their timesheet, let's say it's supposed to be 40 hours or 80 hours or biweekly or weekly.
So if they
So if
work,
it's 80 hours, but they also had, they use compensatory time, they have time they worked, and then they also had overtime, that all three is going in the bucket to count towards pay. Whereas it shouldn't go, their compensatory time should be its own column and not get paid overtime if that takes them to the overtime level. I think.
yes, so compensatory time is really overtime. We take those hours and increase it by 1.5 times, and then it becomes straight time payable time that we are owing the employee that time to be paid at a later date.
Okay,
They can take that as a day off.
Let me clarify.
Uh-huh.
When they work overtime, they get time and a half, basically, right?
Correct. When they, yeah,
But they can either get paid for that or take it as comp time.
correct.
And so they're getting, if they worked an hour extra, they're getting an hour and a half.
Correct.
Compensatory time.
Which is all good and legal. That
So
is
what are
totally
they-
allowed.
What are they trying to do? Put the comp time back in?
Yes. So essentially, if you had a week that you worked 41 hours and you scheduled with your department head that you wanted to take another 4 hours or a half day, and you have comp time that you're going to use for those 4 hours, they were including it in that payroll, and therefore they would have 5 hours of overtime. The way our handbook reads, it allows for compensatory time to be calculated into their overtime. So if they worked 1 hour overtime and then they were using 4 hours of comp time, even though they didn't need to make their regular, week, it would then calculate into overtime, in which they could either get overtime pay for that, or they could comp it again, which would increase the amount of comp time without actually having worked hours to do so.
So,
In Fair Labor Standards Act, it's called double dipping,
Yeah.
essentially. You're
Sure
getting
sounds like it.
overpaid for hours already.
So how does, so you have verbiage that allows that now, and now you're gonna change the verbiage so it's
Yes.
disallowed?
The
So-
only verbiage that would change is that in the section 3.14.1, we would remove compensatory time and say that time off on compensatory time shall not be counted as hours worked for purposes of calculating overtime. That will then prevent an employee from being able to be paid overtime on hours that were already overtime
okay,
anyways.
well, let me ask this question.
Uh-huh.
So let's take a week, and your regular hours are 40.
Mhm.
And you work 45 hours. You can either get paid for 40 plus 5 at 1.5
Correct.
paid,
Mhm.
or you can save the 5 and take time off at some comp time.
Yes, and those 5 hours are currently overtime hours, so we would multiply those by 1.5 times
So you can take
to get it to a
7.5
straight rate.
hours off.
Yes. But it then becomes straight time payable, so we would not be paying them overtime for those hours. But if they work 45 and then they also are taking hours from comp time, so they're getting 49 or 50 hours, they are then trying to get paid overtime or comp time for all of those overtime hours. They should not be paid overtime hours for comp time.
No, I agree.
Have we paid that so far to anybody?
No.
Not that I'm aware of. There was a case a couple weeks ago on the previous payroll, and I caught it, and it would have allowed that employee to have about 10 hours of comp time that they were earning on other comp time.
They had used, correct me if I'm wrong, in their first week of pay, they'd used 8 hours to count into their total hours worked, 8 comp. So then when they got down
But
to
they
their
also worked
second week,
overtime
yeah, and then they worked overtime.
on the
so-
first week.
On the first week, and then when it put them into their second week, then they had overtime, so then we were gonna do it at 1.5 times again on those, the overtime, that it counted in to give them more overtime. Yeah, Marita does a good job, let me tell you, because it can get very
Very
confusing.
convoluted sometimes.
Thank
Yes.
you for saying that.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask another question.
Mhm.
Why, if it's wherever I've worked in my working life, which I don't work anymore,
Like you do.
comp time, if I work 42 hours and I wanted to use comp time, I would have 2 hours to
That's,
take off. I didn't get time and a half.
that's flex here.
So then you get into another set of terminology of whether you are an exempt employee or a non-exempt. If you are exempt, you're a salary employee.
Okay.
Non-exempt employees are eligible
That's
for hourly, basically they're
I
looked
got-
at as
I got it
hourly
now.
and they
I
can
was
accrue
always
overtime.
salaried, so that's why I
Yeah.
haven't got time. Okay.
So this would really only apply to those employees that are eligible to earn overtime.
Okay. And you're sure this language is gonna clear all that?
Well, we hope. I've got it written a lot of ways, so we can try to have explanations and make
This
sure.
sure
we
was
did-
easy for me to
We
understand.
did reach out to the HR, the
Yes.
Irwin Shealy on this one, believe me, yeah.
Yeah.
And Marita reviewed it, Emily, HR reviewed it, Jill looked at it, yeah, and Lori is the one that sent that, so.
Well, the other thing I don't understand, okay, if you have 5 hours of comp time and you work 40 hours this week, why would you put comp time on that week?
Correct.
You've already worked your 40 hours. That's not comp time.
Technically, if you worked 40 hours and you said, I want to take 5 hours, and that then has you at 45 hours, you could get overtime on that comp, the way our handbook is currently written. Or you could also comp that comp time. So your 5 hours now is again multiplied by 1.5 times, and you've not even worked any more hours.
Okay.
This,
I agree.
this is supposed to,
This is
Yeah.
supposed to clarify. Okay.
You don't call this work?
I think you're working pretty hard right now, you know?
This is fun.
I'm glad it's fun because it's not been fun for me, but yeah, we'll let you have the fun.
Thank you so very much.
Yep, thank you.
All right.
So, do we have a motion?
I will make the motion to
gladly.
approve this resolution ratifying prior actions, declaring, oh, that's the other one.
Thomas makes a motion on,
I'll second.
2026-6A.
that's exactly right. That's right on the money. And Karen seconds that. Any other questions?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you very much. Okay, that's great, that one. We now have B, which is Resolution 2026-7, as along with Resolution 2026-8, and that's brought to you by Attorney Josh Stigman.
Good afternoon. So the first resolution is the property on Elm Street. This, on the south or north side would abut the cemetery. And then on the south side is Genpack. Genpack's, it's hard to see with you're not on the map, the property line of ours and Genpack's, ours comes down a little bit further to the south. And then Genpack's comes over, but they also have another sliver that goes up. So the intent with this is to basically go straight across for the Genpack property. That would require us having a 0.5 sliver to square off their property. And then the Scottsburg Cemetery Association is seeking that new parcel that would then be created from Genpack so they can come on down to the south and have additional room to expand. So there would be a parcel owned by Genpack that they would be seeking to purchase, and then we would have some additional land that would be available that we can address how we would handle that later on. What this resolution does is typically under statute, which is what we're doing under the other resolution, is you throw out a notice, get the appraisals, and then anyone that wants to can, as long as they comply with statute, submit a bid. This is, since we are specifically seeking a very defined land use, the expansion of the cemetery, we can negotiate with only one identified purchaser, which in this case is Genpack.
To give you the background a little bit on that as well, this used to be Scott County Manufacturing. I believe, Jan, am I correct on that? Scott County Manufacturing, where
Yes,
they
that's
made
right. Yes.
gas tanks for Ford Motor Company that went down here, Louisville, Kentucky, on those big trucks. And so it became a brownfield, and the city has worked tirelessly to get that out of the brownfield. And while we owned a section of that, about 3 acres or so, right along Elm Street, in looking at that, we are out of room now at our cemetery. And we have very little room left. And I wanted to go all the way across from Elm to Railroad. So I measured how much we had, which would have decreased our depth into the Genpack properties. But I went to them and said, would you sell us some of your and make this go up all the way? And we'll have a dog leg that goes down into you, and you will get that. So, so basically that's how this has all happened. And so right.
The exhibit A is the survey, and ours is go to the other resolution,
That's exhibit A.
the other resolution.
Exhibit B.
There's another resolution now. We have 2 resolutions we're doing today.
Oh, yeah. This one.
I see.
No, that's the second resolution.
There's nothing attached to it. There's no picture or nothing attached to
The picture attached to it. Oh.
Right here,
it. Oh, okay. We don't have that.
you can see where what we had was here, and it kind of dog-legged down. Now the cemetery folks will be buying, they'll get this, but then they will also have to pay for for some extra. They wanted more land. That should give us another 50 to 70 years.
It makes it almost 7 acres, additional 7 acres for the cemetery association.
Scottsburg Cemetery, okay.
So this is at the south end of the cemetery.
Exactly.
That has to be Elm Street, yeah, it is.
Because the cemetery is actually up here.
Up there.
It's kind of right in through here.
So, yeah, this says cemetery here.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this line is meaningless. It extends further. Yeah.
And ours is the small rectangle on the southern end.
This one.
That's the 0.5. That's what you're authorizing the sale process on.
And we're selling that to the cemetery or to the?
That would be to Genpact. And this resolution just authorizes the initiation of the process. The actual sale will come back to you for final approval.
And then they're going, Genpact's going to sell it to the cemetery?
That is
That's the
the
plan.
intention that they have expressed.
So
It's
we,
clear as mud.
yeah, we have so much property now that we're giving them, but for them to have all that they wanted.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna come all the way south down to where basically they kind of park their trucks. It's kind of all grass now where they are, where this is all at. So, but they have trucks, so they.
So there'll be room for me to be buried there.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
gonna be.
the only thing they've really got there are those semi,
Okay,
the containers.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so they're not using it at this point. They don't have it as a part of their expansion plans.
And this will take, this is, cemetery currently is from Elm Street all the way to Railroad. This will just butt to that. So there will be no difference there.
Good.
So,
Sounds like a good plan. I'll make a motion, we approve this resolution.
Tom Lewis makes the motion
Now second,
on resolution 2026-7. I think that would have been on, dash 8A, I believe, Josh, is that? I
No,
think so.
it's just.
2026-7.
2026-7, sorry about that. These, yeah, okay. And seconded by Karen Bricious. Were there any questions about this? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you very much. Josh, you're up on 2026-8.
So this one, we do not have any specific identified land use or purchaser. So this is the typical, we're going to move forward with appraisals, notices, and anyone that would be qualified under statute and interested can submit a bid. That then will come back to you for review and decisions on potentially selling those parcels. I believe, I don't know the history for these parcels for certain, but I think we acquired them with the intention at some time of maybe pocket parks.
And
And
I
that's
think
been-
we did have pocket parks. I think the one off of North 4th was a ball. They used to play ball there for a while. Softball, not basketball, but softball, baseball, whatever. And that just went away. And then there was another area that they had some basketball goals over there, and that went away. So both of them probably have, I would guess, 3 and 5 acres. I mean, it's a fairly, it's low, but it's a fairly large area. So
So we just want to get rid of this.
basically, it's here's what our parks are mowing it all the time. They're keeping that mowed down. So instead of us having to have the manpower and the expense of mowing those every summer, I mean, we haven't used them in probably 15 to 20 years. So
And have no plans for the future use.
I don't see.
Correct.
Okay.
No current or reasonably foreseeable municipal purpose. And right now, I think it's in the second whereas,
If you go
fourth
down,
whereas, that the municipal ownership responsibilities, get them back on the public tax roll.
Okay. Makes sense. I'll make a motion to approve this resolution as well.
Tom Lewis makes a motion on resolution 2026-8. declaring the certain city-owned real estate property be surplus to the needs of the city of Scottsburg, ratifying the prior actions. So we have a motion from
A
Tom,
second.
Karen Bishop seconds that. Any questions about this?
Now, when we sell land like this, is it, we just look for like the going rate of land, or how do we?
So there has been one appraisal done on all three of these parcels. So we'll coordinate, we'll need an additional appraisal, and we'll coordinate with someone to do that. And then it would be the average of those two appraisals.
Okay.
Would be what we call the offering price when we advertise.
And then when we complete the sale, where does the money go? Just into the general fund?
January.
I'll have to see
So,
where
by
it
statute-
originated.
Exactly. By statute, it's where if there were funds used to purchase the real estate, it would go back to that specific fund. Otherwise, I believe the land by the cemetery was given to us as a part of the brownfield project. I'd have to look at
Oh
that.
gosh, was that all that Caramita, all that
I believe
stuff
so.
from-
So I don't think we expanded any money,
Okay,
so that would go back to the general fund. But
that sounds good.
Yeah.
So how much are we expecting? Well, we don't know. That
We don't know.
The first appraisal on that is in, but we would.
Have to wait.
Yeah, we'll have to see, because I don't want to give any, because we don't know what that second appraisal, and then we'll notice it.
Okay,
One of the pocket parks, if you take First Street north, it runs into where you could actually, if you went straight, you'd go right in that pocket park. And it goes all the way to Second Street. So there's a nice big parcel there, then it goes all the way to Second Street, which is unbelievable. So
like
there's
there's
an
an
on
on.
So I'm looking at it, you can still see some poles up the lights. So do we have a motion to go forward then with a resolution?
We already did.
Oh, yeah, we already did. Sorry about that.
Ready
So-
to vote. Ready to vote.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We pass unanimous. I say aye as well. Next is the street department excess. That's brought to you by Ms. Emily Keller.
There are 4 photos in your packets. These consist of scrap work, old and damaged signs and signposts, bad culverts that were replaced with new or damaged guardrails. There's also a couple of pieces of damaged playground equipment in here. Junior has facilitated conversation with Red Ball Recycling to get a dumpster and take this off to them after we declare it as excess, and then we will be paid for whatever comes out of it. So just need approval to declare all of this in the photos as excess.
I don't see anything that we could use, so I'll make a
No, it all
motion.
looks pretty junky to me,
Doesn't look like anything valuable in that.
You don't want to have that, Karen?
and it's an eyesore, so it needs to go.
We have a motion from Tom Lewis
I'll second it.
and followed up by Karen Gracious. Yeah, this is, you can see here all the parkers and the galvanized.
I thought maybe, I saw those pictures, I thought maybe there was a hurricane on it. so.
Yeah, exactly.
They've
Yeah.
just been piling it up, waiting for this time.
Well, once we get a big pile like this, we always try just to call and get this out so it's not, not making our city look bad.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
So we have a motion and a second.
Yeah.
So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you very much. So that is our street department access. Next, we have a Mid-America Science Park deposit return brought to you by Ms. Mason.
I've got 2 banquet hall deposit returns for approval today. The first is gonna be American Plastic Molding for a refund of $250 for their rental on July 2nd. And the second one is gonna be Tree Centrin for a refund of $500 for their rental on June 27th. And both events were completed without any issues.
I'll make a motion, we fund their deposits.
Some of those makes the motion. Is there a second?
A second.
Karen Richards, second. Said any questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I
Next,
assume whenever they do those things, somebody's checked and they haven't damaged anything.
Macy does.
Macy does, yeah. Macy
I
is kind of
figured as much, yeah.
big concierge, and She does a fantastic job.
Good.
She rents those, she collects, she,
Yeah, I always check that.
Next is our claim approval by Jan Hardy.
I would be open for a motion to approve the claims as presented.
I'll make that motion to approve the funds as presented.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion, second. Seconded. Any questions here? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Next, we have our chief of police here. Steve?
I'd just like to offer to ask for a contingent offer of employment to Bergen Noble to get him through the process, for a continued hiring process.
I'll make a motion, we approve that.
Okay,
I'll second.
Carrie Richards seconds that. And what's his name again?
Bergen Noble,
Bergen.
BURGAN.
G-A-N, okay.
Interesting, eh?
Okay, do we have a motion to accept contingency? We already have done this. So, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Anything else, chief? All right, so, Josh, you have anything on that?
I do not.
Okay, good deal. Next is, Emily.
I don't have any announcements.
You don't have anything?
I don't have anything.
So, Jen, you have anything?
I have nothing.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay,
I'll make a motion for adjournment.
we're adjourned. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Oh.